Hello, twisted humans.
Do you find yourself wanting to know more about the latest murder, conspiracy, cult, or haunting?
Then this is the podcast for you. I'm Alicia.
And I'm Sierra, and this is
Twisted and Uncorked. Welcome to Listener Stories Volume 3.
We have some stories to
Yes.
read for you guys that we did not research or write for once.
Yes.
It's great. Before we get started, I need to know, what are you drinking?
I am drinking I'm going to call it a Christmas delight. I did heavy
nice.
cream
Name it.
and
Yeah.
spiced rum and hot chocolate.
Delicious.
What are you drinking?
Mine is hot chocolate and Bailey's.
Also known as a polar bear.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So, okay, I have to ask you this also.
Bartending
How
fun.
do you take your hot chocolate? Wait. I also have to say, because you just said bartending fun or whatever, you are in Canada, which is norther than any U.S. state except for Alaska. I have never been to a bar that served hot chocolate.
Really?
So it was very strange that you just said that.
busted that out.
That's gotta be a cold place thing, you know? Yeah.
I guess probably you are right.
Okay, so how do you like your hot chocolate? Do you like it, like, really chocolatey or really light?
Do you make hot chocolate from scratch?
Not with, like, cocoa, but I buy like, the powder.
Okay, I do too.
Different brands.
But the only powders that we had were the prepackaged ones.
Mm-hmm.
And I like mine a little more chocolatey than those come with. But Kevin kind of made me a snob because the first time that him and I ever had like a winter together, he made me like hot chocolate from scratch. So he did the powder, but he like made it on the stove. And then
I do
did like
that.
fresh fresh chocolate shavings on top and whipped cream because he's fancy.
Yeah.
So that would be my favorite way, but with Bailey's probably. But I don't have Bailey's, so I got creative with my spiced rum
Homemade
situation.
Baileys.
Yeah, my homemade Bailey's. And it's funny that you say that because every year, a good friend of ours, their last name is Bailey, and they make Bailey's, so it's like stronger than regular Bailey's.
Interesting.
They haven't made it yet though, and it's pretty boozy, and they make it with spiced rum. So I mean, I'm kind of making like a poor man's Bailey's right now, but it's good.
Nice.
And what about you?
So I also like mine extremely chocolatey. When I do the powders, like the prepackaged ones,
Yeah.
I have to do 2 for 1 cup. And the issue is when I say 1 cup, I don't mean 8 ounces. I live in America where 1 cup is as big as your cup. This can be 1 cup, okay? This is bigger than my head. This is 1
The
cup.
very cute mug,
All right.
though.
This is huge. Like when I fill my coffee with this and I say 1 cup, it's like halfway. So it's, I do like 1.5 cups and 2 packets of those. But I have
Which one of your
Cadbury-
mugs is that one? What does it say on it?
Mama Bear.
Mama Bear, of course. Mine is a little reindeer.
It's a Rudolph. How cute. So, yeah, I usually do 2 packets, but I have Cadbury brand hot chocolate mix, so I just like dump a lot of that in there. I like my hot
That's the
chocolate to be
best
the
one.
color of my chocolate milk. It's got to be dark.
Yeah.
It's got to be dark.
I agree.
But I also always, no matter what, have to put marshmallows in it.
Yes.
And I usually do a really big marshmallow.
I have marshmallows. I don't know what I was thinking.
I usually do a really big marshmallow and let it melt, or a bunch of tiny ones if I only have tiny ones. But usually it's just a really big marshmallow. And a Hershey Kiss in it.
Aww.
And I let that melt also, so it's like more and more
Chocolate
chocolatey.
on chocolate on chocolate.
Yeah.
So yeah, It's the holiday season, guys, and
It is hot chocolate time.
once I finish my boozy hot chocolate, I might try out this Warhead.
Oh gosh, yes. Another
just
thing
for
that she
Sierra's
got
laughs.
in her Christmas box. If y'all don't know what Warheads are, you need to find them and buy them. The outside is it's a hard candy that you just suck on. The outside of it is coated in super, super, super sour candy, and the inside is really sweet, delicious candy. And you have to suck on the sour and get through it and fight through it to get to the treat on the inside.
Or you can be like Sierra and just run it under fucking water and cheat.
Yes, when I was little, I found the cheat. I used to hold my Warhead underneath of the sink in the bathroom and wait until the sour was gone and then eat it.
Your sister and your brothers probably were like, oh my god, my sister's so strong. Look at, she got through that Warhead. She can get through it, so can we. Meanwhile, you're just like,
Yeah, so easy.
That's exactly what happened. But yes, guys, send in your listener stories. We've got a couple for you today. We didn't want to keep those that had sent them in waiting too long. You've been very patient. I'm talking to you, Emily. And we love reading these and, reading and knowing that, not just Sierra's life is super spooky.
Oh, speaking of my life being super spooky, I have a little mini story real quick.
Give it to
Last
me.
night, my little cousin, she's 24, she went to the hospital because her back was hurting really bad. And when she got there, they said, hey, you're having a baby right now. And she had a fucking baby last night. And
What?
she did not know she was pregnant.
That is a reality TV show, ma'am.
Right?
How?
And it happened in real life.
What? Was she just like not showing at all?
No, not at all.
What?
Not even a little.
That's crazy.
Insane.
Wow.
Yeah.
I hope she's happy.
It's so crazy.
I mean, it's kind
She's
of
very
overwhelming.
scared. Yeah, she
Yeah.
has nothing
Yeah.
for the baby. Baby has to be monitored for a while, in the hospital because they're like, ooh, we did not, take care of this baby for 9 whole months or however long.
Yeah. That's fair. Because if she's anything like me, she would have had alcohol and stuff like that in between. So.
Right. Yeah. So
I hope he is it a he or she?
it is a he.
Oh, I hope he's happy and healthy and that she's able to get everything together. I can only imagine how overwhelming that would be. Just like,
Right.
surprise! And it's like,
Yeah.
I am
Oh, your
responsible
back
for a
hurts?
life.
Time for a baby.
Yeah, right? Excuse me?
It's insane.
That is
I was like, this only happens in movies.
Yeah, this
My
is
aunt
not
called me-
real.
My aunt called me this morning, and I didn't answer. I just wasn't paying attention, and she texted me, and she was like, you need to call me ASAP. And I was like, oh, gosh, my grandparents died. Like, this is bad.
Aww.
And when she told me that, I was like, you're fucking lying. Like, no, this isn't real. Like, this is a joke. And she
That's
sent me a picture of the
insane.
baby, and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, how does that even happen?
I don't know.
I don't understand. Wow. Well, congrats there, Auntie, I guess.
Yeah. It's my,
Second cousin, but...
right, my aunt, who's, mom of my cousin, it's her first grandbaby, so
Oh,
she's
that's
like,
so
this
cute.
isn't exactly how I expected it to go, but I'm a grandma.
I expected to have already spoiled he or she before they got
Right.
here. But no, nothing ever happens the way that we want it to in life, guys. And sometimes those are the best things. So,
Yeah. If you know anyone who has
yeah,
had a baby
please
and didn't
tell
know they
us
were
about
pregnant,
that. Please.
let us figure out what the odds are, please.
Yeah.
Send in all of
Can
those
you write that
stories.
in for us? Keep it because that's insane.
Sorry about the detour. Let's talk listener stories. We just have a couple, right? To end off the year.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to read the first one that comes in front of me, and that is from Jimmy, a.k.a. Bo.
Our friend from Botox with Big Jim, who had written in a story for our Listener Stories Volume 2, where Alicia was very, Very drunk.
Hey ladies, I have a crazy story for you. Disclaimer, I'm sorry. Look, I'm already fucking up. This story
we cold read
involves...
these guys. We don't read them already.
This story involves my day job, so names will be changed for legal reasons. Here we go. Awesome, thank you. Okay. March 2019. I was still new at my job, and I was assigned to watch a patient who had kicked a nurse days prior and broke her kneecap and tore her ACL. Where the fuck does Bo work again?
I don't. If I
does he work
correctly,
at a hospital, like
a psychiatric hospital? I think.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay. Oh my God.
Tell us if we're wrong, okay?
Next fucking sentence, Alicia. I work in a psychiatric facility, and I see crazy shit pretty often. So, confirmed.
Okay, good to know. We're not spreading rumors.
My coworker, Eddie, not his real name, and I watched a patient named Richard, not his real name. He didn't say those things. He put them in air quotes. I'm just saying this. Okay.
I like it.
For about 2 to 3 months for 12 to 18 hours a day. Richard was a neuro student. And a patient, okay. And was very intelligent. But somewhere in his studies, he snapped and went manic. Okay, I see.
Now we understand how he became a patient. Okay.
Yes.
We're all on the same page now, guys.
Oh, that's so sad, though, because I have heard this, and I don't know for sure, but I have heard that a lot of times people who are, like, extremely ridiculously overly smart often do snap because their brains are just, like...
Can't deal with it.
Overload, you know? It just takes in so much information. It learns, like, too much, basically.
Yeah.
It's so sad.
I've heard that, too, actually.
Yeah.
It's kind of scary.
Mm-hmm.
So, be smart, but not too smart.
I don't think you can control it, unfortunately. Take care of your mental health, especially if you're smart. How about that?
Yes.
While sleep deprived for almost 2 weeks, he had hardly, if at all, ate anything.
Aww.
Richard, at the time, was about 5'10" or 11 and weighed about 270 pounds.
Okay.
Now for the scary part. One night in March, at about 2 a.m., while watching Richard, I got up from my chair, which was in the hallway, and Eddie was next to me, also sitting down. I walked up to Richard's door, which had a viewing window to look inside. I cannot describe the darkness that was in Richard's room. Ugh. It was extremely eerie. While looking inside, I could not see Richard at all. I looked all over the room. Nothing. I turned to Eddie and asked to bring his flashlight to look inside. As I turned to look back inside, Richard's face was directly in front of mine.
Nope. Goodbye.
Oh, God, no. Don't like that.
Nope. No, thank you. I don't know about you, but I like personal space.
Bro says, I jumped back because I'm pretty positive I shat myself. Speaking of shatting yourself.
Oh, God.
My children, I have unfortunately taught my children the word shart, which is obviously when you fart and a little shit comes out.
Is it? Is that what happens here?
They know the word, right? But also they know the word shit, they know the word fuck, they know the word damn. They don't say them. They're bad words. My daughter does not say shart because when she asks what it means, I say shit fart. And she's like, oh, so it's a bad word. I'm like, yeah. My son says shart all the time. And apparently one time my daughter told him, you're not allowed to say that. Don't you know what that means? And he was like, yeah, shit fart. And then he's like, oh, oops. Like, he accidentally said that.
Oops.
Okay, anyway. Sorry.
That's cute.
Interrupting, Bo.
Yeah.
Don't teach your children how to say shart.
Learn from Sierra's mistakes.
Yes. He jumped back because he is pretty positive he shot himself. Richard was not blinking, moving, and was hardly breathing as he stared through me.
Oh, no.
Eddie walked next to me and pulled me away from the door. Both Eddie and I felt the most intense chill in the air. For about 45 to 60 seconds, Richard didn't move.
Ew.
Finally, I told Richard to get back in bed. Richard then slowly moved down and to the right of the window. But wait, there's more. Shortly after,
This is the start of The Walking Dead?
Probably. Shortly after, I looked at the security camera inside Richard's room, used for violent patients, and this camera had night vision. Richard then begins to crawl on his tippy toes and fingertips. Literally on his fingertips and toes, crawling around his bed for 4 to 5 minutes before standing up, walking to the door, and opening it.
Hell no.
God.
I'm sorry. That's not human behavior.
Yeah. All right, and he says in parentheses, keep in mind for fire safety reasons, the doors cannot be locked unless they're actively being violent. So it was an unlocked door. Eddie and I moved towards Richard's room. Richard began to say, with a 1,000-yard stare, I am Beelzebub.
Oh my god!
About
That's a
6
demon.
times under his breath. Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh my god.
I am shooketh.
I'm about to start crying.
I know! I was just thinking the same
Eyes
thing. My eyes
watering.
are watering. Why are we like this?
Now, at the time, Eddie and I had no clue who or what Beelzebub was. Until a week later, when Eddie looked it up and discovered that Beelzebub was, of course, another name for Satan and is known in demonology as one of the 7 princes of hell. For a few days after, Richard, who would continue to say, I am Beelzebub. Sorry, I read that wrong, but let me restart that. For a few days later, Richard would continue to say, I am Beelzebub. Eddie would ask him constantly, what is your name? To which Richard would blink, shake his head, giggle, and forget what he was doing. Oh my God. But there is light at the end of this psychiatric tunnel.
It's there because my mouth is agape at the moment.
Right? After a few days of being creepy and possibly possessed, Richard was treated for several mental illnesses. He did not injure anyone else, and he was eventually moved to another room, laughing, talking, being silly, etc.
Aww.
Richard eventually got to the point where Eddie and I were playing music for him and singing along with him. Prince, Michael Jackson, and our personal favorite, Mind Playing Tricks on Me by the Ghetto Boys. He said, ironically, this song is about someone having a psychiatric breakdown and seeing dark figures in their room.
Oh.
Oops. It's now been over 2 years, and from what I've heard, Richard is healthy and in good spirits. To this day, Eddie and I still talk about Richard and often wonder, was Richard really psychotic for the first few weeks under our care, or was it something more sinister? Nonetheless, thank you for reading this, thank you for having Big Jim and I on your show, and thank you for being twisted. Jimmy, aka Bill. That was awesome.
That was so
shit.
awesome. No. I would have quit.
Yeah, so like I said earlier, I do know that people who are super, super smart sometimes do have those breaks, but that doesn't sound like that. That
No.
sounds like something worse.
That sounds like poor Richard was possessed.
Yeah, that sounds evil. Ugh, do not like that.
Next listener story comes from a new listener. She says, hey guys, thank you so much for introducing me to your super cool podcast. I'm only a couple episodes in, but I was told to write in a listener story. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Exactly. There you go.
Exactly as you should.
Just like all of you are being told to do the same.
Exactly. So, when I was about 19 years old, I was in White Rock, BC, which is where my mom and dad live-ish, / where I'm working right now. So I actually drive by this building like every day.
As in Alicia, not the person writing.
Yes, sorry. Fun fact. So, when I was about 19 years old, I was in town for a local conference with work. And instead of driving back home to my town a few hours away, I instead decided to stay at the Pink Palace, or as it was formerly known. The Pink Palace has since been bought by the Pacific Inn and has been closed for a number of months, but nobody knows why it closed in the first place. However, I'm not here to tell you about that. I am here to tell you about my experience staying there. The Pink Palace is infamous in the BC Lower Mainland, 1, because it is a glorious Victorian hotel, and 2, because it is literally bright pink.
Makes sense.
While I was staying there, I was reading a book in my room when I decided that I wanted to check out the pool. It was about 10:30 at night, and the pool was said to close at 11. I decided to take my chances and go for a small dip or even just stick my toes in the pool. Anything to get a little difference in scenery. I get it.
Yeah, for sure.
I walked down to the pool deck to note that I was the only one there. Made sense since they were supposed to be closing in about 30 minutes, and besides, I didn't like little children splashing me anyway. I second that.
Get that also.
Yes. I went down and sat at the edge of the pool, sticking my feet inside the water and staring off into the gardens. The courtyard surrounding the pool was beautiful. There was flowers, there was some trees planted, and the whole area was open. It was actually quite peaceful. Until it wasn't.
Uh-oh.
I looked up to see a woman standing on the other side of the pool. She was staring directly at me. I hate this.
No, thank you. Please don't stare.
I am not a particularly people-y person, but I decided to be friendly and said, "Hey, how's your stay going?" She didn't respond. She proceeded to then walk along the edge of the pool, walk into the shallow side, down the steps, and disappear.
No.
Beg pardon?
Not okay.
That's not okay. I was super confused, 1, because I had just been staring at this person in the flesh, and 2, because I no longer saw her in the pool. I am a huge lover of all things macabre, as you can tell as I'm writing in this story, because I love your show. However, this was a little too much for me. I immediately jutted my feet out of the pool and stood up to get a better look. I looked around, nothing. She wasn't there. Freaked out, I took my towel and I went back inside the hotel, back up to my room and shut the door. I had no idea what I had just seen, but I hated every second of it.
Oh my gosh.
Fast forward about 30 minutes, I had had a quick shower, a little freaked out, I'll bet, and decided to get into my jammies and lay down in bed and watch one of the 30 channels approximately that the hotel had. I kept hearing splashing outside into the courtyard, though.
No!
Nervous, I got out of bed and I looked outside to see the woman standing at the edge of the pool again. I was what the fucking it all the way down to the desk to let the concierge know that there was a strange woman on the pool deck and that I had seen her disappear just a little ways before. He looked at me like I had been losing it, but not in the way that you might think. He was almost curious. He nodded and said that he would have somebody go and look into it and that I should go back to my room. I said, "Did you not hear me? I just saw this woman about a half an hour ago and she literally disappeared."
He expected it.
Exactly.
Fuck! No, I don't like it.
She was known as, quote, the woman in white. And this is the writer speaking. Why the fuck is it always a woman in white? I don't know. I tried to press further with the hotel staff to see who she was, why she was there, how many times she had been seen, etc., but they didn't give me a whole lot of information. All I know is that the stays at the Pink Palace slowly declined until it was eventually closed, bought by the Pacific Inn, and renovated. As we all know, ghosts do not like renovations. The hotel has since been closed, but lots of looky-loos and passerbys will occasionally try and hop the blue fence to see what's inside. I personally am curious to see what lies on the pool deck. From what I can see, they still kept the courtyard and the open pool in the middle, but the woman in white has not been seen, or at least not reported, since the hotel has been closed. I tried to do some research to see if anybody had died there matching her description, or if there was anybody online that knew any other information. Needless to say, I'm not the only person that's seen the woman in white. However, she is usually only spotted when you are on the pool deck alone.
Ugh.
That is the worst time to see ghosts, in my opinion. Hopefully, you guys don't stay in any haunted hotels soon, and if you do, please don't invite me. Keep it twisted, or whatever it is that you gals say, and thank you so much for creating an awesome podcast, Anna.
Thank you, Anna. Oh my god. So, I don't like it. What would you do if you saw that?
I would shit myself.
On the pool deck.
I would shart myself.
But, like, would you have told the concierge right away, or would you have gone up to bed? Like, what the hell would you do?
No, I probably would have told the concierge right away. She went up and, like, showered and, like, tried to shake it off.
Yeah.
From what it sounds like.
She
saw her again standing there, so it's like, ugh.
Yeah. I think if I were to have seen that on, like, my first day at the hotel, there wouldn't be a second day. I don't think I would have stayed there any longer.
Right?
I mean, unless I specifically went there to ghost hunt, but it doesn't sound like that was the case.
No,
I'd be
she
like,
was there for a conference.
I'm leaving now. This is weird.
My job is not worth whatever that was.
Yeah. All right, so this is our last story, right? Who is this story from? It doesn't have a name at the end. Maybe I shouldn't say one. Does she want it to be said? Is it Emily?
She submitted it on our website. She wrote in a story on our last listener one, too.
Okay. Emily, right? All right, this is from Emily. Alicia and Sierra, it's me again. I had sent in the story about my husband's night terrors about the little glowing men. Oh my god, I remember that was creepy as shit. Don't like that.
She mentioned that she had another story, and we were like, yes, please write it in.
Yes. I remember.
Here she is.
Today, I would like to tell you about my evil doppelganger. When I was a teenager, my house was the spot. You know, that place that everyone hangs out. My parents were rarely around, and so it was the perfect spot for a bunch of unsupervised teens to gather. I totally know the spot in my life also. Yeah. It was not uncommon for me to come home from work and find a house full of my friends. One day, my friend Miranda and I were just chilling in my living room watching TV when I got up and went to get something out of my bedroom. When I returned to the living room, Miranda was red in the face and looked panicked. I looked at her and said, "Dude, you all right?" She exclaimed, "No, you just tried to fucking choke me." To which I replied, "No, I didn't. I was in my room. How can I choke you if I wasn't even near you?" She then proceeded to tell me how I, or something that she thought was me, walked into the room.
No.
She said something to it, and it didn't respond. It walked up to her, placed its knee on her chest, and started to choke her.
No, thank you.
Jesus fuck. That's insane.
I like how our listener stories, volume 3, has all of the classic scares. It has the lady in white, it has demons, and it has doppelgangers.
Oh my god, it's perfect. What is even gonna be on listener's story number 4? Like,
yeah.
Can you top this?
I don't think
listeners? So. Okay, sorry. Let me continue. When the real me walked back into the room, it disappeared. We both sat in shock for a while. When my boyfriend at the time came, we told him about Miranda's experience. He dead-ass just looked at us and said, "Oh, you saw Emily's double?" I started freaking out. What? What do you mean, my double? Why have you never told me?
And why
How often have you seen her? What the fuck? Seriously, are you fucking with us right now? This is all stuff that she said, by the way. It was in quotes.
Sir.
He told us how he had seen her a handful of times, but never had a physical interaction with her. He would usually see her walk into the bedroom, and then I would come from a completely different area in the house. He followed her a few times, assuming she was me, and would try talking to her. He would never get any response. Shortly after this interaction, my doppelganger seemed to disappear, and to my knowledge, no one has seen her since. To this day, I'm not really sure what she, or it, was. I was a very angsty teenager and had a very difficult home life.
Oh,
I am unsure if she was something that all of my anger manifested, or if it was something else trying to mimic me. Either way, I hope no one ever has to deal with her again. Keep it twisted.
But not that twisted.
Fucking insane. I love doppelganger stories. That's
Emily,
extremely interesting.
why are you like the coolest person we've ever met, but not met?
Also, I'm sorry that living through something like that is why we think you're cool.
Yes, sorry. No, you're still super cool. But you have little green men and doppelgangers.
Yeah, that's really scary and interesting.
Hey, Sierra is one of the coolest people I've ever met. She's had all sorts of shit happen to her. Go back, Listener Stories Volume 1 and 2.
That's very true.
I was going to joke and be like, hey, do you have any stories for us before we start?
Oh,
but
well,
you kind of did. Yeah.
I did. My cousin had a freaking baby and didn't even know it.
Didn't know I was pregnant.
Yeah,
Zorn
in real
edition.
life. Insane.
Wow. Those were some good stories. Short and sweet.
Those were
I liked
some
it.
really good stories. Listeners, send us some more stories. We would love to do a Volume 4 ASAP. We'd love for this to be a monthly thing if you guys have enough stories. Keep them coming.
Yeah.
Let's make a challenge out of it. Try to beat those stories. How spooky is your life?
Yes. And this doesn't have to be paranormal. It can also be true crime. But, I mean, we also kind of hope that nothing like true crimey has happened to you, because that's really scary too. But we love you guys lots. We couldn't do the show without you listening and being creepy yourselves.
Mm-hmm.
We will see you guys next month, hopefully for a Volume 5. If not, we'll just keep them Volume 4. And if not, we'll just keep them coming as they do. So we really appreciate it. You can send those to twistedanduncorked@gmail.com or hotmail.com. Or we have a little contact us button on our website, and you can submit it that way too. Dealer's choices.
Definitely.
Anything to add, Sierra?
That's it. Happy
That's it.
holidays. We will see y'all in the new year.
Okay. We love you guys lots. And in the meantime, maybe stay away from evil doppelgangers, women in
watch
white,
out for
and
doppelgangers.
patients of yours that may or may not be possessed by the devil. And in the meantime,
Keep it twisted.